Hey everyone, welcome to Outer Rim Homestead. Today we wanted to do something a little different and answer some questions we've been getting about what we're doing, what we're building here, and kind of our journey of how we got here. Um, I think the first thing I want to talk about, and the question we get probably the second most, is what's taking so long. So as you can see by the weather around me, it is wet. We are now into the second week of May, and unfortunately, we've had some difficulties with weather. We were hoping to start this project, really kind of move the brush around, maybe get some piles in, start the well, do all that, like mid-April. Unfortunately, we had some unfortunate weather. We had a nice thawing around the beginning of April, had a couple days sitting in the 20 degrees, and then unfortunately, we ended up with another snow event. We got buried in about a foot and a half of snow, and it just kind of happened. So it kind of set us back. And then since then, the ground has been very wet. Because we don't have the financial means to have large equipment in here, everything is pretty much being done by hand, which again makes the wet ground a big obstacle for us. Um, if we had access to a tractor, if we had access to a backhoe, an excavator, a dozer, a lot of this would be a lot simpler. It doesn't really matter too much what the ground is like. If we had the resources to just come in and drop some geofabric down and some gravel, we would do that. But unfortunately, we just don't. So it really kind of slows us down. So the next question we get is why we're doing this. So honestly, we just kind of wanted a different lifestyle for our family. We got sick of the rat race, and we'll get into what led us to this in the next question. Um, but it was really hard just feeling like you're accomplishing nothing in your day-to-day work. We both worked full time, and we worked hard to do everything we could, and unfortunately it just felt like we were getting nowhere. And with the addition of our little guy Aiden, we both kind of took a step back and said, we want to be more involved in his life and value different things in life than what we were before. So definitely time is the most valuable resource we feel we have, and we want to make sure we allocate that appropriately. Spending time with family, spending time with the little guy, enjoying nature, kind of all that we have to offer around here. So the biggest question we get, and is a very complicated question with a lot of very complicated answers, is what happened. So, like I said, it's a long story. It started a few years ago during COVID. My wife, she unfortunately was unable to get vaccinated, and it resulted in her having to adhere to a workplace policy that was rather invasive. The constant swabbing to test for COVID, which we all experienced, became a medical issue. And basically, she ended up with a perforated septum. Now, it was a complicated issue to resolve because it happened at work. We ended up having to pay out of pocket to have an American surgeon do it, as there was no surgeons within Canada that offer that kind of surgery. There were other options that were way more invasive, but we chose to go with the less invasive one that would allow a faster recovery. And unfortunately, this was something we couldn't do locally. With WSIB kind of dragging their feet, it resulted in us just having to pay out of pocket for it. Now, that started us on a spiral that, while some of it was our responsibility, we may have made some poor financial choices along the way. A lot of it was things that were out of our control. We came out of the COVID era of financing at a very poor time. We purchased our home at a very poor time. We paid way too much for it. The payments at the time were manageable, it wasn't terrible. And unfortunately, when it came time for the end of our 3-year term, we were kind of forced into a situation where we had to accept that there would be a much higher interest rate. We were unable to go with an A lender or even a B lender, which was a really difficult thing for us. I think a lot of people don't understand that when they talk about interest rates, these apply to the majority of people. But unfortunately, we are not the majority of people. We had gotten ourselves into a bad situation because we financially had to spend a lot of money. and we overspent a little bit. Absolutely. Part of that was our mistake. However, this interest rate absolutely crippled us. I don't really want to share all of the details, but I am happy to share a little bit about it. So, our initial interest rate when we bought the home was excellent. It was 1.2% or 1.3%, which kept our monthly rate very low, very affordable. Even though we way overpaid for the house, it was something we could absolutely manage. However, when refinance came up, we had some major repairs to do on the house. We had to take some equity out of it. We had to deal with the medical expenses of Jacqueline's nose, and it resulted in us borrowing against the house almost 100% of what it became worth. At the time, it was still at an inflated rate, but as time went on and the market kind of cooled, we definitely lost a lot of equity in the home. Our interest rate ended up being about 8.3%, which is astronomically high. And most people online have said that that's a number that just doesn't seem real. And unfortunately, it is. We made a poor choice in spending money. It caused us to have to go with a private lender, and those interest rates can be a lot, as they were. So that's kind of where we're at with that. It was difficult when we sold the home. We ended up with nothing at all out of the house, which put our plans here in New Brunswick at a standstill. We were unable to buy the home we wanted to buy. We were forced out of the house we were living in because we had planned on buying that home. And at the end of the day, we ended up living in our RV, which we'll see in a future video when I get it up to the spot here. Unfortunately, the ground is way too soft for that. But the RV itself is 30 years old. It is uninsulated, and it was not a great situation. It did not have working hot water. It did not have a working furnace. It was a very bad situation. In October to December, we were fortunate enough to find a place to park it and kind of set up camp and do our best to insulate it. We had some great help from some locals and getting that going. Unfortunately, it just is not a sustainable situation. We could not afford to keep it heated. It was costing like $700-800 a month to keep it heated, and that wasn't even in the dead of winter yet. That was in November. It just was so unattainable and so unrealistic. So we ended up finding somewhere else to live. It's an affordable situation for us. It works for us currently, but it is not a long-term solution. We want to move forward with our life, and we want to build something that we can not only give our child or any other future children we have, but kind of back to the community that's helped us through our tough time. We live in a small town, and the people here are amazing. And we've had nothing but kind words to say about them, and they've had nothing but kind words to say about us. They did everything they could do in their power to help us survive our situation. And I'm looking forward to giving back. Here at the homestead, we're going to have some animals, which is really important to us for self-reliance reasons. And I'm really hoping that we're going to be able to have a few extra so that we can give back to the community. It's really tough out here, especially in New Brunswick. It's tough everywhere in Canada right now. I think economically, a lot of people are struggling, just like we were. And I'm really looking forward to having the opportunity to kind of give back to the community, drop a couple dozen eggs off at the food bank, or some meat rabbits when they're prepared, or some veggies that we grow from our greenhouse. Really looking forward to that, and helping the community that helped us through our most difficult time in our life. So another question we get asked a lot is why we're going fully off grid. So this kind of ties into the previous situation. Life dealt us a difficult hand, and we were kind of forced to make decisions that were tough for us. And we're afraid that those decisions are going to continue to be a problem. I'm not saying that our government is going to collapse and our economic system is going to completely fail, but I would rather be prepared for that in the sense of, should the grocery store shut down or should food costs continue to double every couple of years, I would really prefer to have a greenhouse, have some eggs, have some meat, have some food and energy and resources here locally that we can do ourselves so that I don't ever have to leave the property should something really happen. And again, not conspiracy theory, not tinfoil hat, not extreme prepping, just enough to say that, if something really happens, we can kind of keep to ourselves, figure it out, work with other local homesteaders and farmers to try and help the community and stay together as a community. So that's what we want to build here. And the purpose of the channel is to show that something like this is attainable for most people. And it really is. You don't have to have a lot of resources. You just have to have the strength, both mentally and physically, to do it. It's a lot of work, but we strongly feel it's the right direction for us. So the next question we get asked is, what are we going to build first? So again, it's a complicated question, but I think it's a pretty straightforward answer. Obviously, if you've seen from our only other couple of videos currently, there's a roadway that is a disaster that we need to get tidied up and built for access to our homestead area where we're actually building. So the first thing we're really going to work on is getting that access road constructed at least to a level that we can access the main property here. The main challenge in that has been the weather, which is why it's been so delayed, as well as resources. We were not getting what we expected to out of the timber that was logged, and it has slowed us down in terms of getting the property prepared. We were hoping to pick up some secondhand equipment from marketplace and other local auctions, and unfortunately we've had to wait on that because we just don't have the money yet until the roads harden up and we can get some more timber out. So that's kind of unfortunate, but yeah, the first thing we're going to build is really the road. The next up's going to be some basic infrastructure, so that includes the well. It's going to include a ground-based solar array, so I have electricity while I'm building the outbuildings. We're hoping to get the greenhouse up next. And then while all that's happening, we're going to be building the main home. However, the lumber for the main home is being milled locally by a local artisan, and it's not going to be all at once. So it's kind of going to be a bit of a staggered process. And because of that, we want to always keep busy and not waste our most precious resource, time. So always going to be doing something. Hopefully the weather starts to dry up for us a little bit here. That being said, it's very dry overall in New Brunswick here. And if you live locally or you pay attention at all to fire bans, you'll know we can't have fires most days. We can have a fire today, but as you can see, it does not want to stay going. And it's not really worth wasting the time and energy to get it going just to have it go out in a matter of minutes. So yeah, that's kind of where we're going with what we're going to build. So I kind of touched on this next question already a few ways. So how are we paying for this? So we don't have any savings. We, even in our better living situation, struggle financially. However, we are planning on using the timber from here to pay for this project, as well as working with local small businesses in coming up with a plan for payment plans or whatever we can do to that sense. So really everything is coming off the land. We have no money. We have a car that we have a loan on that we have to pay quite a bit for, which was one of our poor financial decisions. Looking back at it, at the time it was okay. But we really don't have money right now for this. We did not purchase this land outright. We have a rent to own agreement on it. We will absolutely be fulfilling that. So we are purchasing the property. It is just not with a down payment. It is not with a large sum of cash because there is none. It is all planned and negotiated and paid in installments, which is something I think some people may have to do. And there is a lot of companies and organizations out there that'll work with you on that. There's also quite a bit of government resources, at least here in New Brunswick, there is some, which unfortunately in this area, they're new to the process, so it's a bit time consuming. But I know there's quite a few projects out there and systems out there to help people with that. So I encourage people to look at their options. They do exist. The last question we're going to talk about is how people can support us. So there's lots of ways that you can support us. The best way to support us is just to follow along on social media. Like the videos, watch the videos, tell your friends, subscribe to the channel, leave some comments, ask some questions. Just be involved. I love talking to people. I love answering questions. I'm happy to do so in the comments on YouTube any day, all day. We also have a Discord server that I would like to really get going just to allow a little bit quicker interaction. We'll see how that goes. For now, the best way to support us is just watch YouTube. We do have an Amazon list going that's more to show what we're going to need to buy for the property. If that's something you really wanted to do directly, you're always welcome to buy from that registry for us. We'd greatly appreciate it. But the biggest help is really just following along and telling your friends and asking questions and just being involved in the community. So thanks everyone for being here and for listening to me. I know I tend to go off a little bit on a tangent, but I am restraining myself from all the things that I like to talk about, because if you know me, you know I like to talk a lot. So we're really looking forward to building this from the ground up. We're really looking forward to bringing people along for the ride. And I really hope that everybody enjoys their time here. And if you have any feedback of any kind, I will always take it constructively. I love to learn, and we would love to better the community and better the knowledge sharing just by having everybody involved in it. So welcome to Outer Rim Homestead.